Democrat Kathy Parker and Republican John Myers are competing for the council seat that Republican Jerry Keene is vacating after more than 20 years in office. Myers is a former county prosecutor and former head of the public defender's office. He says go online to tippecanoe.in.gov for more information. Chris Morrissey-Vitza, Star City News.
Now, your first weather.
Gray skies and chilly temperatures across much of Greater Lafayette here for today. Our highs are only in the low to mid 50s in many areas. Now we're watching some rain off to our south and west, and that's starting to make its way through Illinois and will eventually get into our area overnight tonight and through the day on Wednesday, bringing the chance of some scattered showers. Could hear a few rumbles of thunder, and some of that rain could be heavy at times, and looks like much colder weather following this As we get through the rain on Wednesday, your Halloween will have temperatures dropping throughout the day, and overnight lows dip into the 20s as we head into the early morning hours of the first day of November on Friday. Before your Wednesday, again, 41 degrees to start, mostly cloudy skies, rain likely as well. Temperatures not really moving too much throughout the day. Will stay in the low to mid 40s with cloudy skies and rain on and off throughout your Wednesday. We'll talk more about those big changes coming for the first day of November, and we'll do that with your hometown forecast coming up. But first, your local news starts now.
Good evening and thank you for tuning in to Star City News. I'm Lauren McCullough. Star City's Nina Schlossberg has our top story tonight.
According to court documents, Joseph Kruger has a criminal history. In 2002, he was sentenced to 17 years in prison for a robbery in the Northern District of Indiana. Documents show that he's on probation for that conviction. Also, he was on supervised release in the Central District of Illinois when the bank robberies happened in Lafayette and West Lafayette. Kruger was identified as a suspect after the FBI matched a BMV photo of him to the bank surveillance videos. A federal probation officer confirmed the match. Investigators say Kruger admitted to robbing the Centaur Bank that morning. Kruger is charged with 3 counts of robbery, level 6 felonies, 4 counts of armed robbery, each a level 3 felony, and 1 count of theft. Kruger remains in the Tippecanoe County Jail. A prosecutor asked a judge to set Kruger's bond at $30,000. In Lafayette, Nina Schlossberg, Star City News.
There's a new message among the candidate yard signs this year. It's the I Voted sign, created by the League of Women Voters of Greater Lafayette. The League's Sarah Tyner says the signs are a visible and durable way of letting the community know that an election is underway. She says the signs are also a reminder of the importance of local elections.
These elections are the ones that have the greatest impact on their day-to-day lives and their daily functioning. So if you've ever struggled with affordable housing or where your kids are going to school and wondering how that money is being allocated, transportation, jobs programs, the parks, all sorts of things like that that we all use pretty regularly. That's the stuff that impacts us on a daily basis, and that's how you make your voice heard.
Early voting is underway. Polls will be open at the 4 Payless supermarkets Thursday through Saturday from 1 until 7 p.m. each day. Election day is Tuesday, November the 5th. If you want to get one of those I Voted signs, they are available through the League of Women Voters website for $10 a piece. In our continuing campaign coverage, Star City News will be featuring some of the candidates who did not participate in the live forums. This evening, Star City's Chris Maricivica reports on the candidates for West Lafayette City Council, District 5.
Democrat Kathy Parker and Republican John Myers are competing for the council seat that Republican Jerry Keene is vacating after more than 20 years in office. Myers is a former county prosecutor and former head of the public defender's office. He says the council needs to support Mayor John Dennis, who appointed Myers earlier this year to serve on the West Lafayette Redevelopment Commission.
Under his leadership, this city has made great leaps forward. We need to continue the critical bond between Purdue, critical bond of cooperation with Purdue and its leaders, preserve our neighborhoods.
Parker has been involved in the community since moving to West Lafayette in 2001. The City Council has appointed her to serve on the West Lafayette Police Merit Commission, and Mayor Dennis appointed her to serve on the West Lafayette Economic Development Commission.
You deserve a city councilor who will listen to you, listen to your ideas and concerns, who will show up to meetings and public events, and who will respond to your emails and phone calls.
The candidates agree the City Council must manage future growth responsibly. They disagree on what types of issues the council should address, such as climate change initiatives spearheaded by Mayor Dennis. The council approved the mayor's resolutions to reduce West Lafayette's carbon emissions, and the city adopted a climate action plan developed in collaboration with Purdue researchers last year.
We have Purdue University right here within our walls with all these brilliant minds committed to solving this crisis, and with our city and our mayor and our city council, I know that we can do it.
We need for the city council to attend to city business and not business over which it has no control, national divisive issues.
Early voting polls will be open Thursday through Saturday from 1 until 7 p.m. at the 4 area Payless supermarkets. Election Day is November 5th. Go online to tippecanoe.in.gov for more information. Chris Morrissey-Vitza, Star City News.
This Halloween, you may see teal pumpkins outside homes, and they are more than just for decoration. For kids with life-threatening food allergies, they're an indication it's a safe place for them to trick or treat. Sarah Dolph has the story.
This is my Halloween candy.
For Braxton Mendoza, the scariest part of Halloween
It's multiples of the same thing, really.
is the part many other kids look forward to the most, trick-or-treating.
He's allergic to dairy and peanuts.
Meaning candy with those ingredients, including chocolate, will trigger a dangerous reaction.
I just look down and try to not say anything because I can't eat that much stuff.
But the Teal Pumpkin Project is aiming to make sure kids with food allergies like Braxton don't get left out. Participating homes place a teal pumpkin outside, indicating inside they have candy and non-food treats.
It could be the fun spider rings, glow sticks, stickers. Just be creative and find the thing that fits the price of your pocketbook, but is also something small that kids can easily pop into their bucket.
Halloween can be a tricky time for the 1 in 13 kids in the U.S. with food allergies, and health experts advise them and their parents to pack an EpiPen before heading out, because ingredients for mini and fun-size candies can sometimes differ from full-size versions, as can factory conditions.
So it may actually have their allergen in the miniature size candy when it doesn't have it in the full size.
Making the Teal Pumpkin Project a safe solution for the Mendozas.
I wish more people knew about it and more people participated.
No tricks, just treats, and all kids included.
Lawmakers are hearing today from the first White House official who listened in on the Ukraine call at the center of the impeachment probe. The witness is an Army officer who says in his prepared testimony he was disturbed by what President Trump said and reported it. Alice Barr has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Army Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman walked in to testify today in uniform, decorated with the Purple Heart from an Iraq War injury. The top Ukraine expert on the White House National Security Council prepared to tell lawmakers he listened to the July call when President Trump urged Ukraine's leader to investigate Joe Biden and was so concerned he went to the NSC's head lawyer.
I think this is the most powerful moment of any of the House hearings.
Vindman saying in his prepared opening statement, quote, "I did not think it was proper to demand that a foreign government investigate a U.S. citizen, and I was worried about the implications for the U.S. government's support of Ukraine." President Trump, without offering evidence, dismissed the lieutenant colonel as a never-Trumper witness in the impeachment inquiry witch hunt. Some of the president's allies questioning Vindman's loyalties. The self-described apolitical patriot escaped the Soviet Union when he was 3. At least one Republican coming to his defense.
We're talking about decorated veterans who have served this nation, who have put their lives on the line, and it is shameful to question their patriotism.
This as Democrats prepare for a House vote Thursday, formalizing their next steps in the impeachment inquiry, including some public hearings. Republicans say it's too late.
But you can't put the genie back in the bottle. A due process starts at the beginning.
GOP leadership now arguing the vote they've been pushing for is an admission the process has been illegitimate, a claim Democrats flatly deny, saying they want to eliminate any doubt about whether the Trump administration must comply.
Still ahead on Star City News, the internet turns 50. Wow, we'll take a look back at the technology that changed our lives forever.
And rain moving back into the area overnight tonight, and as we head into our Wednesday, our school day forecast starts out with some scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. Temperatures are going to be cold. We're looking for highs only in the 40s with cloudy skies throughout much of our Wednesday. Temperatures get even colder on Halloween. We could dip into the 20s by early Friday morning. We'll talk more about that when we come back.
Now, Star City weather.
And welcome back, everyone. Cloudy skies across much of the area today, and temperatures didn't really move too much in the upper 40s and low 50s. Late this afternoon, and still got those clouds hanging around. We're back in the low 40s in many hometowns. 42 right now in Lafayette, 43 in Dayton, 40 degrees in Fowler. May get a little bit of clearing around Fowler, and Oxford may have just a few areas of clearing, but it looks like we'll see those clouds kind of continue to increase overnight tonight, and rain chances increasing as well, especially after midnight and as we head into early into our Wednesday morning. So here's what the radar looks like right now. Again, not really seeing much happening. May get a few showers coming into Benton County in the next hour or so. A majority of the rain still down to our south and west. Let's take a little bit wider view of our radar and show you where the rain's at. Again, a lot of it down through parts of Illinois, Missouri, all the way back into Oklahoma. But look what's happening right on the back edge of this rain. We got some blue showing up, indicating much colder weather. Now, most of blue, which indicates snow, will actually go right through north central and central parts of Illinois up near Chicago. So it's going to stay north and west of us here in Lafayette. We're going to be in mainly a cold rain all day on Wednesday as temperatures don't move much, maybe into the 40s. But late Wednesday night into Thursday, as the rain kind of wraps up and some cold weather comes in, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little mix of some sleet or maybe some ice crystals or even some snowflakes as we head into the Halloween evening. Again, not looking like any accumulation, shouldn't be a big deal, but does indicate we have a lot colder weather heading our way here over the next 36 to 48 hours. But for tonight, cloudy skies. Again, the rain coming in after midnight, 38. The overnight low, your hour-by-hour forecast for your Wednesday. Yeah, rain kind of on and off throughout the day. May even hear a few rumbles of thunder, but temperatures not moving much. Mid to upper 40s, but again, we'll be above freezing, so we'll see mainly rain. Just going to be a cold rain across much of the area. Here's a look at our temperatures. What's going to happen with those over the next several days? Again, temperatures not moving much for your Wednesday. Maybe start in the low 40s and really going to stay there throughout much of the day, maybe back to the upper 40s by the afternoon. Going to really watch that next system, though, get in here on Thursday. So we'll start out at 46 about Thursday around 5 o'clock in the morning, but watch what happens during the day of Halloween. We may increase a degree or two, but then look what happens by 5 o'clock on Thursday. We're back into the 30s and looks like overnight lows early Friday morning, yeah, into the 20s as you wake up and head out for the first day of November. So trick or treat forecast in for Thursday night. May have a little rain out there, north winds, northwest winds gusty, and temperatures in the 30s. So definitely want to bundle up in layers if you're heading out on Thursday night to grab some of that candy, as there's going to be some cold weather. But luckily for us, the snow is going to stay just to our north and to our west. Here's Lafayette. Again, we're going to be just kind of on the edge of it. Most of the snow will be found through Illinois and through parts of the Midwest here over the next 24 to 48 hours. So just mainly rain for us. Again, you see all the green across our region. There's a little blue to our north and west. Again, those indicates a little bit of snowflake activity. But as we get to Thursday morning, it looks like most of the rain comes to an end. But here comes a little bit of light snow. Yeah, you can see maybe by 5 o'clock may mix in on Halloween night a few snowflakes with a very cold rain across the area. So for tonight, back in the upper 30s, rain very likely after midnight. Keep periods of rain in the forecast on Wednesday, highs in the 40s. We'll stay in the 40s for highs during the day, but when we kind of cool off overnight into especially Thursday night into early Friday morning, that's when we may mix up a little bit of light snow or some snow flakes. Temperatures stay cold all weekend. Look for highs only in the 40s as we head through the weekend. Also, don't forget this weekend, time to fall back 1 hour early Sunday morning. It's just got a lot going on here the next several days, but no accumulation. Actually, to our north and west, we may see a couple inches of accumulating snow in parts of Illinois up near Chicago as well. So we're lucky enough to see mainly, it's going to be a cold rain, but looking like it will be all rain for us here in Greater Lafayette.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Coming up after the break, how some people are putting up tiny houses in the backyard and pulling in a second income. Forget outdoor sheds and garages. Some homeowners are now building second homes right in their backyards. And these new smaller units are churning out some major rental income. Diana Olick has the story.
Lisa and Chris Puchala recently tore down their garage and built a second home in its place.
We lived in it for 10 months while we renovated our main house, and we loved it.
And they love the rental income it generates even more. As states and local municipalities relax zoning laws, more homeowners with extra backyard space are building small auxiliary dwelling units, or ADUs, either for family members or to use as income properties. That means huge growth for Prefab ADU, a Bay Area builder which built and installed about 100 ADUs this year and could expand to at least 1,500 next year and possibly even 3,000.
Inquiries are split probably 50-50 from people who are looking to address housing for family members, and then we have other people who are looking for the rental income.
While zoning rules are changing as cities try to create more affordable housing, there are still roadblocks to greater growth in the ADU industry, especially when it comes to cost.
ADU is still really, for the most part, it's an affluent homeowner product, meaning that you have to have cash on hand to take this on.
There is also local pushback in some communities as homeowners fear an influx of renters could lower property values and change the dynamic of the neighborhood. The Pujalas were definitely sensitive to that.
Before we built it, we talked to all of our surrounding neighbors and sent them the plans. This is what we're thinking of doing, and we're going to be using it for family and friends, may rent it short term, and everybody was on the same page and really nice throughout the entire process.
And after it was finished, several neighbors came by to check it out and see if it might work in their backyards.
The most common prefab ADU home is 288 square feet and runs about $105,000 installed. Custom units can reach more than $300,000. Well, we can't imagine our lives without it. The internet is turning 50. 50 years ago today, the first message was sent over a network of computers that would later become the internet. And the message, the word low, not for lo and behold, but for log in. That command didn't quite get typed out before the primitive computers crashed. Here's Harry Smith with a look back at how far we've come.
By the mid-1980s, personal computers were becoming more common. But to connect, you had to use a telephone line. Software was primitive, and cell phones were, well, they were the size of a suitcase. And the World Wide Web, WWW, did not come into existence until 1989. As machines became more sophisticated, the word Internet began to creep into our collective vocabulary.
Allison, can you explain what Internet is?
That was 1994, 26 years after the Internet first came to be. In 1997, fully half the households in America which were connected to the Internet were using AOL. You've got mail. America Online. We were getting connected by the millions, oftentimes to complete strangers. Cupid was online too.
He did not know how old I was until the day before we met.
She used to just say, oh, I'm a few years older, I'm a few years older.
And where all those people were gathered, there was money to be made.
Investors are really trying to hitch their wagon to all things internet.
Suddenly the words Silicon Valley were on everyone's lips.
Internet companies are the hottest and most profitable investments in a generation.
And in the year 2000, the dot-com bubble burst.
Most dot-com retail companies will be out of business by next year.
But while investors cried over their losses, inventors and entrepreneurs kept improving ways to use the Internet.
The Google search engine has gotten so popular, it's given rise to something called Googling. That's where you type in the name of a friend to see how many times he or she shows up on the Internet. And then there's self-Googling, where you type in your own name, G-E-O-R-E.
The power and speed of the Internet made a lot of things obsolete. A show of hands, please, for all who remember encyclopedias. Among the books you no longer bought were the ones sold in stores.
We're trying to create something entirely new, something that the world hasn't seen before.
First a bookseller, then a purveyor of just about everything.
Actually, all orders do need to be placed online.
Thanks to or because of the Internet, Amazon has moved into our households.
Alexa, how many ounces are in a cup?
It's worth noting how the popularity of the name Alexa has dropped significantly. By the mid-2000s, smartphones exploded into the marketplace. The first iPhone?
There we go, right there.
In 2007. Just about that time, Facebook entered the scene.
Connecting with friends is something that everyone needs to do, and Facebook lets people in all different demographics all over the world do that.
Connectivity. We wonder if 50 years ago anyone imagined an America where we spend so much time on screens, as much as 12 hours a day, including TV. The first electronic connector was Samuel Morse. His message across a telegraph line in 1866, "What hath God wrought?" What indeed?
Wow. Coming up next, the Pacers still struggling to get their first win, and the Purdue football team prepares for this weekend's matchup against Nebraska. Bailey has all of this and more next in sports.
Good evening and welcome back to Star City Sports. I'm Bailey Wilborn.
Sports is brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook is America's top-rated sportsbook app, and it's now available to play in the state of Indiana. Download the app now to receive a deposit bonus up to $500.
Good evening and welcome back to Star City Sports.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook is America's top-rated sportsbook app, and it's now available to play in the state of Indiana. Download the app now to receive a deposit bonus up to $500.
Good evening and welcome back to Star City Sports. I'm Bailey Wilborn. It's crunch time for the Purdue football team. If they want to make it to a bowl game, Purdue has to win their next 4 games to get the 6 wins needed to make a bowl appearance. The 2-6 Boilermakers will host the 4-4 Nebraska Cornhuskers on Saturday. Coach Brohm said yesterday that Jack Plummer will be the starter, and the Boilermakers offense is going to need to wake up if they want to beat Nebraska. Coach Brohm talks about their game plan for this week.
Playing a historically good football team in Nebraska that's going to come in here hungry, that needs to get a win. We just got to improve and get better and have a great week of practice and show improvement on the game field and try to win come game day. And that's kind of will be our approach this week, is just do everything we can to try to win this game, practice hard and then go out and compete. But we want to see improvement.
Bears coach Matt Nagy is sticking with quarterback Mitch Trubisky and says he's starting their game this weekend against the Philadelphia Eagles. In Sunday's game against the Chargers, Trubisky had 2 costly fourth-quarter turnovers. And entering Sunday's game, Trubisky ranks 29th in QBR, 28th in passing yards, and 29th in touchdown passes. But Nagy says he won't start backup quarterback Chase Daniel. The Bears are currently last place in the NFC North and 12th in the NFC playoff standings. The Pacers are still struggling to get their first win of the season. In last night's game against the Detroit Pistons, the Pacers played well defensively. The team had 11 steals, 5 of which came from T.J. Warren, and 4 blocks. But the Pacers bench couldn't get much going, getting outscored by the Pistons bench 46-18. The Pacers are now 0-3 on the season and head to Brooklyn tomorrow to take on Kyrie Irving and the Nets. The Bulls were in New York City trying to get a road win against the Knicks. Zach LaVine led the team with 21 points, and Wendell Carter added 20 points and 10 rebounds for Chicago. But former Bull Bobby Portis was out for revenge against his old team. He finished the game with 28 points and 11 rebounds off the bench. The Bulls couldn't stop the Knicks' fourth-quarter push, and they blow the lead to lose the game 105-98. Chicago will continue their road trip tomorrow when they take on the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Tip-off is at 7.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook is America's top-rated sportsbook app, and it's now available to play in the state of Indiana. Download the app now to receive a deposit bonus up to $500.
We're expecting a cold rain across the cold rain across the area for Wednesday. Temperatures mid-40s with rain continuing for cold rain expected across the area for Wednesday, 45 degrees. We're back in the low 40s on Thursday with more rain and windy conditions, eventually into the 20s by Friday morning. Looks like some cold weather for the weekend.
Very flurry. Thanks, and thank you for watching the Lake Star City News. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good night.
Thank you for watching Star City News. Follow us on Facebook and listen to us on the radio.